Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Mezco 112 Collective, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Batman, Superman, and Flash 3-pack. Now, this has been a long time coming. Ordered these things years ago, and they finally arrived today. So let's take a look at the packaging. It's in this big metal tin. The top, 112, pose, play, display, DC, Zack Snyder's Justice League. You can see the Justice League logo here. Top of the tin, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Bottom of the tin, the same thing. Side, Justice League, Mezco Toys. Other side, exact same. So, let's open it up and see what we got. And I did end up getting two of these sets, one of which you open and enjoy, and the other one to keep unopened in my complete Batman-related unopened action figure collection. As we go ahead and open up the set, here it is with the front of the tin off, exposing all three of these figures. Here it is with the front part of the clamshell removed, exposing the figures and a bunch of their accessories. Then, with the next layer removed, exposing even more accessories and display stand. And here, with the final layer removed, giving you access to the last few items. Alright, now that we have these figures out of the package, here they are with all of their accessories laid out, and they come with a ton of cool stuff. Now each of the figures comes with a display stand, flight stand, and then a baggie to hold all their accessories. Superman comes with a total of 6 hands, 3 heads, and then the mother box that actually has light-up features. Batman here has a total of 9 hands, 3 heads, 3 batarangs, gravity launcher with several accessories, a few bombs, and then a parademon rifle. And Flash, he also has a total of 7 hands, 5 speed force effects, 2 heads. So decked out with accessories, figures look fantastic. In this video, we're going to take a look at each of the figures individually. We'll check out their accessories, their height, their articulation. We'll compare them with a bunch of other relevant action figures. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And let's start off with the one I was looking forward to the most, Batman from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now before we take a look at Batman, let's check out their shared accessories. Each of these 3 figures comes with a display stand, flight stand, and then a baggie to keep all your accessories. Quick look at the baggie. It's a little Ziploc bag. It says Mezco 112 Collective. Hold all your accessories. Then we have the display stand. As you can see, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Fantastic logo and stand. When you put the stand together, it's going to look like this. You have the circular base at the bottom, then you have this post here at the very bottom. It can rotate. It's going to be hinged in the middle, hinge at the top with rotation, and then it has this clamp to hold your figure. So this is Batman from Zack Snyder's Justice League, played by Ben Affleck, also referred to as Batfleck. Zack Snyder's Justice League is pretty much the second film in the DC Cinematic Universe to feature Batman. Yeah, he was in Suicide Squad, but it's just a cameo. Now, the suit has some differences from Batman vs Superman. I love the Batman vs Superman suit. I love the Mezco Batman vs Superman figure. So let's see how this one stacks up. He has a ton of accessories. 9 hands, 2 heads, parademon rifle, gravity launcher, batarangs, and some little explosives. Before we look at all those, let's talk about and check out the figure. Start with this face here. Now, it looks like a fantastic Bruce Wayne head sculpt, but it really does not look like Ben Affleck that much. I mean, I can kind of see like what they're going for, but it almost looks like, I don't know, like they're going off of a comic version of the Ben Affleck Batman. Like I said, fantastic Bruce Wayne, but not so good Ben Affleck. Now, the suit itself, it has that sort of rubbery feel to it, and I'm kind of not feeling it. I really like the way the Batman vs Superman Mezco figure was. So there's some differences in the suit. It's got some lines on it. The abs are sculpted a little bit differently. It has that signature large bat signal. He has this wrap around his gloves. I don't really remember that. The knuckles, I do remember that. This cape, pretty big. It has a wire in it. Going to allow for a lot of different posing. As a whole, I like it. But I'm not sure if I love it. I really feel like I'm spoiled with the Batman vs Superman version, and I don't know. It just feels better in this one. I really don't like that sort of rubbery texture to the suit. I prefer the more cloth one they made before, but we'll see how I feel as we progress through the video. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. I find it kind of odd that they use the unmasked head as the main head in this 3-pack. It's definitely not going to be the main head I use for this figure. Like I said, I think it's an awesome Bruce Wayne head, but I think it sort of fails as being a Ben Affleck Bruce Wayne head. And then, here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with his hands. So he has a total of 9 hands, 5 right hands, 4 left hands. Here's a look at his first pair of hands. These are his fists. Then, his second pair of hands. This is a pair of hands with the batarang permanently attached to the hands. And then his next pair of hands. These are some normal hands, some default hands. They would look good relaxed at his sides. And his next pair of hands, this is a pair of gripping hands. And he has one additional right hand. This is another gripping hand with a trigger finger, presumably for his grapnel launcher. Now let's look at his heads. He has a total of 3 of them. One with a regular expression, one with an angry expression, and then one unmasked Bruce Wayne head. Here he is with his first head. This one has the most normal expression. This will be the head I use in this body the most. Then, with his second head, this one has the angry expression. And now for his third head. This one has the unmasked Bruce Wayne head. Like I said before, I think it's an awesome head. Fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint job. I just don't think it's a very good Ben Affleck head. The likeness is kind of lost to me. Now for its grapnel launcher. It has 3 different attachments. One with the closed hook, one with the open hook, and then one with the bendy wire with the extended hook and line. It's that signature grapnel launcher from Batman vs Superman. It's got the wooden handle. It's got the trigger there. You can see sculpting, fantastic. Here's Batman holding the grapnel launcher with no attachments. Here it is with the closed hook attachment. This is how it'll be before he even fires it at all. Then, with the open hook attachment, he's getting ready to fire and launch his line. And here he is with the open hook and the line out there. Now I thought it was a bendy wire, but it doesn't really seem to be. You can't really get it to sort of bend upward or bend straight. I mean, it would look good like this, but like this, just looks limp and dumb. So definitely a big complaint here. Now for his batarangs, we have 3 of them. They're done in the signature Batman vs Superman sort of style batarang. Looks similar to his Batman logo. Batarang itself looks good. It's silver. There's a little bit of sculpting detail in the middle. Has that very clean, crisp look. Here he is holding and getting ready to throw one of his batarangs. He could use a hand with a smaller grip to hold the batarang a little more appropriately. Then we have these little bombs on the packaging. They're referred to as explosive discs. Personally, I would not call them discs. They're little explosive balls or bombs. As you can see, it's mostly a black circle, but if you turn around, it has sort of an open, flat part here. Here's Batman holding one of those bombs. Now for the Parademon rifle. It looks good. Done in a metallic silver paint job. Excellent sculpting all over this thing. Now at the end of Zack Snyder Justice League, Batman took one of the Parademon's rifle, broke his no-gun rule, and was shooting all those Parademons. But exceptions have been made when there's an alien invasion threatening the entire world. Here's this Parademon rifle, next to several other versions that I have. And here's Batman holding that rifle. I have a couple of other Batman figures that come with a Parademon rifle, as well as a bunch of Parademons. So this will be a nice addition to their armory. Now to talk about his cape for a second. So his cape, it's pretty nice. It's got the bendy wire, which can allow for some posability. The original Batman vs Superman Ben Affleck didn't have bendy wire. It's just a fabric cape. And in some ways, I think I prefer that. It would have been very nice if they gave us 2 capes, one with bendy wire, one without. So, to please all the different people. So here's a cape on the back. Now, if you stretch it out, it gets really big and looks fantastic. I prefer it to be sort of draped a little bit closer to his body. It looks good, but I don't know, something just seems a little bit off about it. I think I prefer the original Batman vs Superman release, and I'm a huge fan of that release, as I'm sure you can tell by the way I'm talking. This guy's good, but I feel like that one, even though It's a better part of 10 years older. It's better. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now for his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing right at 6.5 inches tall, which could translate to 16.5 centimeters. And if you go to the top of the ears, about 6.7 inches tall. I've always been very pleased with Mezco's scale. It's sort of middle ground between McFarlane and the small stuff like SH Figure Arts, 6.5 inches. And now for his articulation. Starting with his head, of course, you can rotate from side to side. You can look up, not much, down a little bit. Can tilt his head, but not very much. Shoulders, ball joint goes out 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. Bicep cut below that. Looks like double jointed elbows, but they're only going in about this far. Wrist can rotate, and it is hinged. Torso, it's got a ball joint under the bat signal. Forward and back, rotate. Another one in the waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, it does pretty good. Legs, complete as splits. They have rotation. Forward, that far. Back, not much. Double jointed knees, they go all the way back. And then his ankles, which I'm having a really hard time. Forward and back, tiny bit. Yeah, they rotate, but tilt rock, I guess it's freeing up a little bit. They don't do a lot, but I've been having a really hard time getting him to stand and have his legs sort of aside, tilting. The ankles are kind of limited, disappointing, making it kind of difficult to stand this guy up. So my overall thoughts on this Batman. I'm a huge fan of Mezco's Batman vs. Superman Batman. It's one of their earlier figures, and they knocked it out of the park. It's fantastic, holds up very well. This one here, I don't think I liked it as much. The wired cape, I really wish they gave you a non-wired option, a drape cape, regular fabric cape. I wish his head would tilt a little bit more. I'm not really feeling all these lines on his suit. I do like the sort of ab thing there. I don't like the way the suit feels. It feels like rubbery. It doesn't feel sort of cloth or fabric or like woven, some sort of bulletproof type thing. Mixed feelings. It does look good, and I'm happy to add it to the other guy, but it sucks that this many years later I feel like it's inferior to the other one. And maybe part of that's just because I like the other figure and I'm so used to it, so having this different and feeling different and moving different is disappointing. Also his ankles, they're really hard to get them to tilt. Makes it hard to get him to some action poses when he's grappling or using the rifle, etc. And it also sometimes feels like one leg is shorter than the other, which I don't think is the case, but it's just really hard to get him quite right. I've had some problems with him standing and looking good and not sort of leaning to the side. Maybe these are issues that'll work out over time. Maybe I'll feel better about him over time. I'm not saying he sucks, but just a little bit disappointed after this huge long wait and this high price point. Now let's check him out. Next to some other action figures, some other Batflecks. Here's the Justice League Batfleck next to Mezco's Batman vs. Superman Batfleck. They're both fantastic figures. Now, some of the things I complained about, like the wrap around the gauntlets or the lines on the suit, they may be accurate to the film, just my own personal preferences. Now, as much as I do have some complaints, these are some really nice looking Batfleck figures. And here he is, next to Mezco's Justice League Tactical Suit Ben Affleck Batman. They finally gave us both suits from the movie. Only took them 5+ years. Here are all the different Mezco 112 Collective Ben Affleck Batman figures. We have the Nightmare Batman, Batman vs. Superman Batman, Justice League Batman, Justice League Tactical Suit Batman, and then the Armored Batman suit. I'd say the only other one that has a shot at getting made is maybe Ben Affleck Batman from The Flash. But I'm really happy with their collection. They all look really good. Here he is, next to a DC Direct, Batman vs. Superman, Armored Batman. It's the only Batman figure they made for that movie. Really wish they released their regular Batman vs. Superman suit, 7-inch scale. Here's this Mezco Justice League Batman, next to McFarlane's DC Multiverse Justice League Batman. And McFarlane did make 4 different variations of the Justice League Tactical Suit Batman. Hopefully they'll give us the regular Batman vs. Superman suit. Then, next to McFarlane's Flash Batfleck figure. Then, here's this Mezco Batman, next to the Mafex Justice League Batman. Now these are supposed to be the exact same suit, based off the exact same source material, the Justice League movie, his regular suit, but you can see 2 completely different takes. Mafex made a much darker version. It looks really cool, really sleek. And here, next to Mafex's Tactical Suit Batman, this is from the end of the Justice League film. Very nice figure as well. And now, next to Mafex's Batman vs Superman Batsuit. This is an older Mafex figure. They've improved a lot since then. This guy did not age well. Here's this Batman, next to all the different Mafex Ben Affleck Batman figures. They made all the same versions that Mezco made: Nightmare, Batman vs Superman, Justice League, Tactical Suit, and Armored Suit. And here, next to the SH Figure Arts Ben Affleck Batman from Justice League, based off the exact same suit. They look pretty similar. It's a very nice figure as well, although smaller than I would like. Now let's check him out. Next to some cheaper mass retail Ben Affleck figures from Justice League. Here he is, next to the Mattel DC Multiverse Justice League Ben Affleck Batman. Once again, based off the exact same suit, and for a much cheaper figure, it's really not bad. Then, next to a basic Mattel Justice League Ben Affleck Batman. And for a $9 figure, they didn't do bad, and they got a lot of details right. He even has the wrap around the gauntlets, the gold fins. Like I said, for a $9 figure, really not bad at all. Here's this Mezco Batman next to a Notice Studios Ben Affleck Bruce Wayne from Justice League. This is a third-party, unauthorized, unlicensed figure, but it is phenomenal. This is the perfect Bruce Wayne to go alongside this Mezco Batman. Perfect scale, perfect style, perfect everything. Now let's check him out. Next to some other Mezco Batman figures. Here he is, next to the Mezco Dark Knight Returns Batman, Golden Age Batman, and Michael Keaton 1989 Batman. Then, next to the Ascending Knight Batman, Sovereign Knight Batman, and Supreme Knight Batman by Mezco. And now, next to a Mezco, Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond Batman, and Damian Wayne Robin. Here's a look at Batman unmasked in the Batcave, doing research. And here, perched on top of a rooftop, overlooking Gotham, here's Batman in the Gotham City streets in front of his Batmobile. Now let's take a look at Superman. This is Henry Cavill Superman from Zack Snyder's Justice League. He's in his black suit, his resurrection suit when they brought him back from the dead. He comes with 4 alternate hands, totaling 6 hands, a total of 3 heads. Then he has a mother box, and has a light-up feature, and luckily, it includes those weird batteries that it takes. Before we look at those, let's talk about the figure. Like I said, Henry Cavill Superman. So, the likeness, good. I'd say it's closer than the Ben Affleck one, but it's still a little bit off. The hair looks good, parted, sort of slicked back. The eyes, the mouth, but it looks just a little bit sort of generic, not exactly Henry Cavill. Now the suit texturing is fantastic. It looks great. I think his body is a little bit slimmer than the Batman body, but I could be wrong there. As a whole, it's very seamless. You can kind of see the belt on the side there. It's got a line going up and down his legs. The boots sort of share the texture of the outfit. I don't know, it looks a little bit odd. His cape is a little bit smaller than Batman's. It does have a wire on both sides. Kind of see the stitching on the back there. Overall, pretty good. I like him. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. It's good head sculpt. A little softer than Henry Cavill, but a really good Superman. Here's the Superman figure, broken down as far as he can go. Now for his accessories. Starting off with his hands. He has a total of 6 of them. 3 right hands and 3 left hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. And here he is with his second pair of hands. This is a pair of flight hands. I think every single Superman figure out there should come with a pair of fists and a pair of flight hands, so the choice of hands are pretty good for this guy. And here's his third pair of hands. This looks like a pair of sort of grabbing or choking or throwing hands. Now let's check out his heads. He has a total of 3 of them. One with a normal expression, one with an angry expression, and then one with the heat vision lasers coming out of his eyes. Here he is with his first head. This is his most regular head. And here's his second head. This one has the angry expression. And here's his third head. This one has the angry expression and the heat vision lasers coming out of his eyes. They look really good. They're done in a semi-transparent red plastic. Now for the mother box. Now, we only get 1 mother box. There were 3 in the film, but I believe this is the one they put into the crashed Kryptonian ship and resurrected Superman. See, it has some semi sort of yellow or green transparent parts in the box here. It's like in use, in action. Now it comes with batteries. Let me go ahead and put them in and see if we can get this thing to light up. Here's this Mezco mother box next to the 3 that Mattel made. I went ahead and put the batteries into the mother box. At the bottom here, it has a panel that removes, And you can see a little switch here for on and off. And in case you're wondering, the battery type is a 2R416SW337, in case you want to replace them. So here's the mother box without the light on in a completely lit room. Then with a light on in a completely lit room. Then with a light on in a semi-lit room. And here it is in a completely dark room. Now they've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and its accessories. Now for his height. Bottom of the top, about 6.6 inches tall, which you guys translate to just over 16.5 centimeters. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head. Of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up and down. A very nice range of motion. It's going to really help give him to some good flight poses. He has articulation at the top of the neck and the bottom of the neck. Can't tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders, ball joint, goes up more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around. Bicep cut below that. Very minimal range of motion there. Double jointed elbows, they go all the way in. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged. His torso, he's got a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Another one on his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, very good range of motion there. Legs, complete as a splits. There is rotation at the top. The legs go forward about that far. Double jointed knees. And then his ankle, forward and back, tilt, rock, and rotation. Now let's check him out next to a few other Superman figures. Here he is, next to the Batman vs. Superman, Mezco Superman. This is the Henry Cavill Superman that Mezco made before. We have the regular suit, now we have the black suit. So, which one do you guys think has a better head sculpt? I mean, the paint job is way too pale on this guy. I don't think it's the same head. I don't know, I kind of see more of Henry Cavill on the older one. What do you guys think? Drop me a line in the comments below. And here he is, next to a McFarlane DC Multiverse, Zack Snyder Justice League Superman in the black suit. 7-inch scale versus Mezco, a little bit over 6-inch scale. And just like Mezco, McFarlane made both versions, the regular suit and the black suit. Then, next to a Mattel black suit, Henry Cavill Superman. I believe this one is actually from the Man of Steel line. And just like McFarlane and Mezco, Mattel also made both the regular and black suit variations. Next, here he is, next to a Mafex Batman vs. Superman, Henry Cavill Superman. And here, next to the only other Mezco Superman that I have, this is the Christopher Reeve Superman. Here's the Mezco Superman, next to a few other black suit Superman figures. Here's Superman in the Kryptonian ship, getting resurrected by the Mother Box. Here's a look at Superman in his black suit, flying through the skies of Metropolis. Now let's take a look at the Flash. The Flash is played by Ezra Miller. His real name is Barry Allen. He comes with 5 alternate hands, totaling 7 interchangeable hands, 2 heads, and then 5 Speed Force effects. So let's take a look at him. Starting with his face here. It looks pretty good. I can kind of see Ezra Miller in there. He's got, you know, the kind of smooth, hard red helmet. Gold sort of lightning bolts on the side. He's got the Flash logo on his chest. The whole thing is sort of armor pieces held together with these wire. It looks good. It has some weathering. It's not just solid red, kind of dark. You see the fabric suit underneath all the different armor plates. Very well done. I think it looks really good, actually. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. I definitely see Ezra Miller with the proportions on the nose and the lips, the eye, the mask, the placement. It's all very well done. And here's Flash, broken down as far as he can go, all of his removable parts detached. Now for his accessories, starting off with his hands. He has a total of 7 of them, 4 right hands and 3 left hands. Here's the Flash with his first pair of hands. These are his running hands. Every Flash figure needs a pair of running hands. Here's his second pair of hands. These are a pair of sort of normal, relaxed hands. They would look good at his sides. Here's his next pair of hands. These are his fists. And he has one additional right hand. This one is pointing with his index finger. Now to look at his heads. He has two of them. One has a normal expression, and one, I don't know, it's very similar. I think maybe a little bit more serious and surprised expression. Here he is with his first head. This one has the more normal expression. And here's his second head. Something in the eyes. It just looks like he has a sort of surprised look. Now for his Speed Force effects. He has 5 of them. They're cast in a sort of semi-transparent plastic. It's mostly blue, simulating lightning. And now, with a bunch of the Speed Force effects attached. Now for his height. He's standing at about 6.2 inches tall, 15.5 centimeters. And for his articulation. Starting with his head. Rotate side to side. Look up and down. A little bit. Not nearly as much as Superman. Can tilt his head one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint. The shoulder armor does move out of the way. It's kind of interesting how that works. You can see it's sort of strapped to it just like in the movie. Up, down, around, up about this high before you start to really get resistance. Bicep cut. Not getting too much out of that. Double jointed elbows, they go in this far. His wrist, rotate, and hinged. It's kind of interesting how they designed the suit. They have these pieces on top, and it's done just like the movie with these straps and stuff. Pretty cool. Torso. Now, I can feel articulation underneath there, but this sort of armor is going to prohibit using pretty much any of that. It's sort of a soft goods overlay, but it's really not going to allow you to use that articulation. I'm sure he's got double ball joints. You get a little out of the waist, but not that much. His legs, they don't go out very far. The armor obstructs that. Yeah, if you kind of push it back, you can see it sort of stretching in there. Goes forward, maybe that much. Back. Okay, kind of medium. As far as pulling them both outward, it's like it doesn't have enough give there to really do too much more of that. Double jointed knees. Does have rotation in his ankle. Forward and back. Rotate. Tilt rock, all just a little bit. Here's his Mezco Justice League Ezra Miller. Next to the McFarlane DC Multiverse version. 6-inch scale, 7-inch scale. And of course, McFarlane made 2 versions. The regular and the Speed Force variant. And here he is, next to a Mattel DC Multiverse Ezra Miller Flash from Justice League. Wow, the Mattel one is actually a little bit taller than the Mezco. Then, next to McFarlane DC Multiverse Flash movie version of the Ezra Miller Flash. They actually made 4 different versions of the Ezra Miller Flash from the movie. 2 of the older version, and 2 of the younger Barry Allen. Here's a look at Flash, just about to hit a running pose. Here's Flash in the Speed Force, running through the streets of Central City. And a side view of the Flash, Speed Force all around him. Our 3 heroes here come to stop the Unity, stop the Mother Boxes from joining. Of course, Steppenwolf's parademons will not allow this. Here's Batman, Superman, and the Flash, getting ready for combat. They will win the day. A little bit more, so you can see everything going on, just like the end of the film. Now let's talk about next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how they fit in, both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know what designs you can mix them with. Since they're Mezco figures, they're typically the 6-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of these smaller action figure lines I collect, and work way larger. Here they are, next to some Jazz Wars Fortnite figures, and some SH Figure Arts figures, and now, with some Mafex and some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here they are, next to several different baking potatoes of different various size, scales, and shapes. Then, with some more Mezco 112 collective figures, and now, next to some NECA and some Mattel DC figures. Here they are, next to some Jazzwares and Mattel wrestling figures. Then, next to some DC Direct and some McFarlane DC figures. And finally, next to some DST, Diamond Select Toys, and some Jack-specific wrestling figures. So overall, these are some 3 fantastic figures from the DC Cinematic Universe. Great from Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm a little bit disappointed with Batman, but that's not to say it's not a great figure still. It's just not quite as good as I wanted, but I have my bar set really high. That being said, I'm going to say I think Flash is actually the best of them. He looks really good. His suit is just really, really nice. It looks great. Double jointed knees, all the good stuff. He's maybe just a tad bit too short. Superman figure is also very nice. The black suit, the likeness, looks good. Batman, also a fantastic figure, but I set my bar really, really high with him, and I was a little bit let down. Really happy to add all three to the collection. If I were to rate these figures, well, their accessories are fantastic, plentiful. Articulation is pretty much as best you're going to get from Mezco. Sculpt and paint job, excellent, no issues there. I'm going to give Flash an 8, Superman a 7.5, and Batman a 7. I was really hoping to give Batman like an 8.5. Unfortunately, not quite the case. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, head to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.